What's up, you guys? It's me. I wanted to do a video because, Roxy had her retirement fight, so I wanted to do a little tribute video. I've done lots of interviews and such, but I wanted to get some stuff on here, so here we go. First of all, how you guys like the new setup? I haven't done one of these talking videos since we've gotten into the new office. So, yeah, this is it. I'm going to try to play with the lighting. I don't like how the lighting is. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's cool? You guys like to see more of this stuff lit up? I don't know. I got to figure it out. But anyhow, this is the new place. And this is the first video I'm doing here. So, I want to talk about Roxanne. As you all know, Roxanne Modafferi, a legend, a pioneer. We came up around the same time together, and there's a whole list of OGs that are mainly forgotten about by the mainstream MMA guys of today, because I always say MMA doesn't really appreciate its history as much as it should, but that's a whole other video. All that being said, Roxanne is the last one left of us competing, and she's not just competing, she's competing at a high level, the highest level. You know, it wasn't too long ago she was the number one contender, had a title fight. So, I think that's a testament to her hard work, because there was an article, and I'll try to find the article and link it in the description, but you hear all of us say it. She's not the most inherently athletically gifted person. She got to where she's at because she put her nose in the dirt and worked hard, and didn't listen to anyone that was telling her to quit back in the day. I'll get to that. But what I want to start with is everybody's first impression of Roxanne. She's not someone that you'd see that you'd be like, oh man, she should be a fighter. She should get down and dirty. You know, she's an anime nerd, a proud one. She loves martial arts, and all of us are nerds at heart. But, there's a certain type of person that gets into martial arts, and traditional martial arts especially, that are into martial arts films, and they get into it because of that stuff. And then you have a whole crew, because of the uprising of MMA, that just want to learn how to beat someone up. And unfortunately, that's what the majority of fighters are today. There's some good guys, and there's some that have a good balance. I believe my coach, Josh Barnett, is a guy that has a good balance of both sides of martial arts, the honorable, intrinsic side and the I'm going to beat someone up side. Roxanne is very much tilted toward the intrinsic value side. And, she was, my first impression of her was there was this girl named Jennifer Howe, and at the time, she was knocking everybody out. People were scared to fight her because it would mean a painful time, and just like she was trouncing through everybody that was fighting at that time. She was training at Militich Academy, which at that time was like the top place to be. You had guys like Matt Hughes and Tim Sylvia and Jens Pulver and Robbie Lawler. All these guys started there. And she was like the girl that was training there, and she was knocking everybody out. And Roxanne was one of the only girls who stepped up without hesitation when the opportunity came. Took a fight on short notice, ended up beating her. When Jennifer Howe's camp asked for a rematch so that they could fight on not short notice change, she beat her again. And that was my first impression of Roxanne. Then when my opportunity came, so I went to Tokyo to fight Roxanne while she was living there. And at the time, Roxanne was talked about and being one of the top 3 in the world. And she was always in that discussion. And the best thing, that I remember knowing that Roxanne was cool was we fought in Japan. I was kind of this up-and-comer at the time. I hadn't fought any big names, really. I just started fighting the names that were around in MMA, and I ended up upsetting and beating Roxanne. And she was obviously upset. You know, she didn't lose very much back then. And the next, you know, right after the fight, invited me to take me around sightseeing Tokyo, and spent the entire day showing me around. I have some pictures that I want to show you guys, and I purposely kept them in this photo book because at the time, this is 2006, at the time, I had a disposable camera. The camera phone wasn't a thing. I didn't even have a phone over there because it was just a flip phone. And so, this is like some of the pictures I took with Roxanne, when she took me around Tokyo the day after she lost a fight. This is a picture of like this shopping. This is kind of like a flea market inside here where there's a bunch of booths of food and stuff. And Roxanne took me there, and this is actually inside there. And there's Roxanne right there. I don't know if you guys can see very well. But she took me to this place. I saw people making street food and just all this type of stuff. Then she took us to like a real Buddhist shrine, where they have like these fountains you need to wash your hands in and say a prayer and stuff, and you leave little notes and you get a blessing. It's cool. I don't want to get too much into all that. We could do another video sometime, but ended up fighting her. This was our face-off video. So you know nowadays that you do the weigh-in, and you take your picture and then you do a face-off and you face each other, and it's kind of like this. You know, there might be some shenanigans, but me and Roxy took a Dragon Ball Z face-off, and I posted this on my Instagram post that I made about this. But yeah, we did a Dragon Ball Z face-off, and then here's our pictures with the ring girls, which I think is hilarious. They never have ring guys on a girl card. And then we had to take like the traditional one, of course. Look at how small we are. Here's that. But yeah, and then, you know, we went all over, and then this is right after the fight. This isn't even, her hand wraps aren't even taken off yet, and that's right after we fought each other. And this is another testament to Roxanne. That's right after we fought each other. Literally, the worst moments of a fight are when you lose right after. In that moment, when you're at your lowest, to be able to take a picture. And that's not just a testament to Roxanne, that's a testament to how women's MMA was. I've said it in interviews that the top few girls, we were a real tight-knit group because there wasn't a lot of girls, and you were either at the top of that pile or no one knew who you were yet. So Roxy and I knew each other coming up. After that, we were friends. We would see each other on fight cards. We would message each other. And then we ended up on The Ultimate Fighter Season 18 together. And the thing about The Ultimate Fighter is that it's a show made, especially at that time, made for up-and-comers to kind of like show who they were and get signed by the UFC. At the time, it was odd that Roxanne and myself were on this show because we were vets and people that followed the sport knew who we were. And so a lot of fans felt like we shouldn't have to do the show, we should just be signed. But we were happy to do the show because it was getting our name out there to a more mainstream audience. And then if you go back, I can't get clips of this because, you know, they'll strike me or something. But there's clips of when Roxanne loses and I had already lost. We are like hugging and crying, and it's this moment where it's kind of like, man, we both knew what we were trying to do, so we both understood each other in like a different way that nobody else on that show did at that time. But it's cool because before the show, she had a fight in Strikeforce or Elite XC. I don't remember off the top of my head, but she fought Sarah Kaufman. And Sarah Kaufman, at the time, was an up-and-comer. And so this was thought of as the changing of the guard. This was Roxanne the Vet against Sarah Kaufman, the new up-and-comer who's tearing the world up at the time, and she eventually becomes champion. But in this fight, Roxy gets a triangle on Sarah Kaufman, and Sarah Kaufman picks her up and power bombs Roxy, like, through the mat straight to hell, practically. No, I'm joking. But she slams her, knocks her out, Quentin Rampage Jackson style, except without the head bouncing and cutting her also. But she picks her up, knocks her out, and then, Roxy comes on The Ultimate Fighter. She gets her shot. And I highly recommend you guys watch. The UFC posted a video before Roxanne's fight where she's going through a retrospective of the fights in her career. So I highly recommend checking that out. I can link that also. But then the same thing happened to her on the show. The girl picked her up, slammed her, knocked her out. Roxy, without even knowing what she was doing, because she was knocked out, tried to stand back up. The girl, it was the same thing. And I remember thinking at the time, like, man, has the sport passed Roxy up? Is it all about athletes now? Like, back in the day, was it that she just knew more, and now athleticism is catching up? Like, it was a time where I was like, man, the changing of the guard, like I said. But, Roxanne didn't listen to all the naysayers that was saying she's done it all, she should retire, the sport's leaving her behind. She up and left her life that she had in Japan and moved to the United States and turned her career around. And she started training at Syndicate with John Wood, who, all the credit to him. He's a great coach. He turned her career around. It's not even so much technically, it's her mentality. He didn't try to turn her into this amazing champion Muay Thai fighter or like super excellent Western style boxing. He did what she does, her awkward striking style, and made it work for her in-ring style. And I think her entire confidence, her mindset completely turned around. I think he's the coach that finally convinced her she needed to start in and doing some dedicated strength and conditioning. Completely turned her around. And, the thing about Roxanne is that Julie Kedzie said it, and I'm paraphrasing, but there should be in every fight gym a picture of Roxanne standing victorious. And every coach should strive to have their fighters be like her. Someone who just works hard and has a good attitude. Put your nose in the dirt and be a good person and good stuff will happen. And that's what happened with Roxy. She didn't listen to anyone. She kept her head down and worked hard. And that's it. There was no magic secret sauce. That's what she did. And I'm so happy for her, and I'm so happy she's getting the recognition and the acknowledgement for being a pioneer and doing that. And, I'll leave it with this. This is another testament to Roxanne and the type of person she is. She posted this post one time. There's a unique place that fighters go after a fight, depending on their winning or losing. It's either like heaven or hell. A place so bright that you feel like light is bursting out of your soul, or a place so dark in despair that you feel like you've fallen from that light forever. A place that no one can truly join you in or save you from. And we fighters know it, and we risk that darkness for the brightness. Audience watching has no idea. That's why I never, ever boo while watching a fight. And that's the type of person Roxanne is. So, testament to Roxanne. Today, I picked the beer out of my collection that I guess is the most nerdy. I did have a better one, but I drank it already. This one is from Weldworks Brewing. It's called a unicorn thing. I don't know if you guys can even see that. It's a cool label. And it's a double IPA. So, cheers to Rox. Into the sunset. Happy warrior. happy retirement. You know, Rox and I always argued. She would always claim Jedi, and I would always claim Sith. I think she has a misunderstanding about how pure the Jedi Order is. They're not all good. They are just as corrupt as the Sith. But the thing I think that she would agree with me, she's happily engaged now, which clearly means she fell in love, which clearly means she went against the Jedi Code. They don't allow for such stuff. It's clear that she's turning to the dark side. Finally. I hope she understands this. It's okay. It's okay to be in love. It's okay to be Sith.